and then we will get started with today's stream. Okay, should be good there. Alrighty. What's up, guys? What's up? It's Monday. It's a big slate tonight. It's 10 games. So we're going to have to, try and find some good plays for today. It is a slate where, there's not a lot of injury news that we're waiting on. I saw somebody was asking about, are we going to be able to snipe some plays today? I really don't know because, we just got news from the Bulls, but, they've already pulled all the Bulls props, or most of them, the ones that were good. So, I don't see much value there. The value was on Yabusele. The value was on his props, and I think they pulled all his props. Let me see. I posted that in our Discord, though. Yeah, they already pulled his props. But I did post it in our Discord, and that's why it pays to be in the Discord, because as soon as injury news hits, I'm trying to ping guys in the Discord and, tell them, hey, take this, whatever. And hopefully people were able to get that on Yabusele, because that was a good value play. We'll see what else we get today, though, on stream. The only injury news that really matters for today is on the Hawks. They have Dyson Daniels questionable and Jalen Johnson questionable. Jamal Murray's also questionable, which matters a lot, but Jamal Murray's one of those players I typically always expect him to play. He typically doesn't miss a ton of games. And then, Embiid's questionable, but Embiid's questionable every game, it feels like. But really, the Hawks news is kind of what we're waiting on. We'll see what we get there. I don't know if we're going to be able to snipe any plays off of that because, I have a feeling they're going to be very quick to pull the lines. But I will say, if Dyson Daniels gets ruled out, I think CJ McCollum's probably the biggest beneficiary because he would most likely start in place of Daniels. And then if Jalen Johnson gets ruled out, that just kind of helps everybody. I don't know who would start for Jalen Johnson. They could go with Mo Gay. They could go with Corey Kispert. They could go with Jock Landale and play a bigger lineup. So that's a tough one. But I will say, if we get news that Dyson Daniels out, I'll try and get some plays in on CJ McCollum. But they're probably going to be quick to pull the lines. Prizepicks has definitely gotten a lot quicker pulling lines than they typically are. But I've already got a couple plays I like anyways that we'll talk about in this stream. And there is a discount for today on Nikola Jokic points. So we'll use this because I haven't used this yet. We'll use this on stream and we'll give out a couple plays I like to pair with that discount. But let me say what's up to everybody in chat. Benny, Isaiah, what's up, guys? Michael asked about, you asked about the Chicago value. Right now, Michael, I don't see much value. The value was on Yabu's props. Those got taken off the board, so yeah, I don't see any value there. And Giddey, Trey Jones, all those guys, they were doubtful, so they weren't expected to play anyway. But Jalen Smith, he was questionable. It was reported that he was expected to play, and then he got ruled out. So there was some value on Yabusele's props. Noah, could you share the music playlist? This is a 12 hours of copyright-free music playlist. So there you go. It's just a YouTube. If you just search up copyright-free music on YouTube, that's what it is. I'm not sure if you're trolling or not, but yeah, it's just copyright-free music. I don't think I can play anything else besides that, or my stream will get taken down, or it'll get demonetized or something. I don't know. I don't want to risk it. Love the videos and streams. No, appreciate you, Sebastian. Do you still like Bobby Portis PRA at 21.5? I think that's okay, yeah. If you're on Prizepicks, I like his fantasy score at 25.5. Honestly, I think I would play that before I play 21.5 PRA. But typically 1 point bumps are usually okay. So yeah, I don't hate that. What's up, bro? How are you? We're gonna snipe something today. Hey, we're gonna try, man. We're gonna try. But I'm doing good, and I hope you guys are doing good as well. Hope you guys had a good Super Bowl Sunday. The Super Bowl was a letdown yesterday, man. It was just a boring game. It was never really competitive. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy the Super Bowl yesterday. I didn't really take, I typically for the Super Bowl, I'll do a big bet. I'll put a bet in on the game. But I wasn't confident, so I just didn't even bet. I just had the YouTube picks I gave out yesterday. That was the only thing I sweat for the game. And that, we needed 2 more catches from Stephon Diggs to win that. But I wasn't really sweating the game too heavily. I was just trying to enjoy the game, and it wasn't a good game. It was a blowout. It was never really competitive. Oh well, I guess it happens. Majestic says, NBA is so hard to bet on with 20-plus point blowouts in 50% of the games daily. I mean, yeah, blowouts, they'll happen, man. Especially with how today's NBA is. A lot of teams are, heavy three-point shooting teams. So when teams get really hot from three, they can put up a lot of points. They can blow other teams out. On the other end of that, when teams are shooting a bunch of threes and they're cold and they can't make anything, they can get blown out. So it's just, the game's just different, I guess. But yeah, there's always going to be blowouts, and they're going to be tough to project and predict. It's just kind of how it goes. There's always variance with any sort of sport. Yeah, I did clean up the face today and got the haircut as well. So feeling good today, man. Feeling good. Got the fresh cut. Mark the Great says, yo, what's up, Noah? Embiid is out. I don't think Embiid's out yet. He's questionable, but he's not out. Northeast Pursuit says he got that Yabu prop in Discord. Let's go. Love to hear that. I know it wasn't up for very long, but I think it was up long enough where at least some people should have been able to get it. What's up, Noah? You like Harden Fantasy and Julius Randle Fantasy? We can take a look at those. So Harden played his first game with the Cavs last game. I don't think he played a lot of minutes. But let's see. Yeah, he played 32 minutes. Typically he's like around like 35, 36 minutes. I think Harden probably plays a little bit more today than he played last game. It's always hard when a player's on a new team, what their role's gonna be, but I would expect Harden to have a pretty good role on this Cavs team, especially while Evan Mobley's still out. I like the matchup against Denver. I think it's a decent spot. 41.5, like that feels like a good line on Harden, but if I had to pick a side there, I think I would lean the over. And then your other question was on Julius Randle Fantasy. So that line's at 39.5. I do worry a little bit, like if Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels are out, I do worry a little bit like this game maybe could be a blowout. I think it's an okay spot though for Julius Randle. I think 39.5 feels like a pretty good line for him. I took an over on Anthony Edwards today. I took his over fantasy, so I'm kind of hoping it's an Ant game more than it's a Randle game. But like, I don't hate that play on Randle. I am a little bit worried about potential blowout though if the Hawks don't have their two guys, Dyson and Jalen. Is the Joker discount good or not? I mean, I'm going to take it. It's a 6-point discount off of his original line. Is it guaranteed to hit? I mean, no, it's not guaranteed to hit, but I will say that right now, Jokic's lines could be a little bit inflated because Jamal Murray's questionable. So if Jamal Murray plays, some of these lines on Jokic might come down. But like, I still think it's a 6-point discount, so it's still good. Let me shut my door real quick. My fiance just got home. But yeah, 6-point discount, like I would still take it. But there is a chance that like if we do get news that Jamal Murray's playing, they might bump this 28.5 down to like 27.5. Which then at that point, obviously the discount, it's only worth a 5-point discount, but still good. Still good. I'm going to take it, so. 2 years ago, you helped me turn $10 into $4K in 1 month with MLB. Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. That's a hell of a return. Hopefully we can do that again this MLB season. Someone's asked about Russell Westbrook, 31.5 fantasy. I'm really skeptical on the Kings right now. So if you've been looking at Kings games, like if you've been looking at how they've been running their rotations, they have really been spreading out the minutes. Westbrook last game did play 32 minutes, but like they've been keeping their guys at like 27, 28 minutes. And even like in competitive games, they're sometimes not playing them down the stretch. We're seeing a lot of teams do this now. Like the Jazz are doing this, the Kings are doing this, the Wizards have done this. I would be careful betting overs on some of these tanking teams. And the Kings, I mean, they're a tanking team right now. So if you told me Westbrook was going to play over 30 minutes, I would like the over on 31.5 fantasy. But I'm not confident he plays over 30 minutes. I'm not confident he plays 28 minutes. I think he could play like 24. So that's just a tough situation to project and predict. So when it's like that, when I don't feel good about it, like I just try and stay away. Jalen Johnson's questionable. He got downgraded to questionable earlier today. He's not out yet, but Dyson Daniels and Jalen are both Q. Play null Minnesota return game, and if Johnson is out, that's even higher chance of points. I mean, you could, yeah. You could definitely look at some Nickeil Alexander-Walker props because he's going to benefit if there's no Dyson and if there's no, Jalen as well. Again, I would worry about blowout risk because, they would be pretty shorthanded, but somebody's got to put the ball in the basket. You would think it's going to be CJ, Null, Onyeka. Those are going to be the guys who really benefit if Dyson and Jalen are out. Brandon says, what's up, gang? What's up, Brandon? Jair says 23 seems high for a discount. I mean, well, it's Nikola Jokic. Of course, his line's going to be higher than a normal player, than any other player. Would you rather have Jokic at 23 points, or would you rather have, I don't know, Khan at 23 PRA or 22 PRA? Which one of those would you rather have? It's a higher line for Jokic, but he projects to score more points. Need a pair for Jokic or for Joker, bro? We're gonna give out a couple plays. We'll do that in just a second. I just want to get caught up on some of these questions since we had questions that I wasn't answering. Under on Io, Minnesota runs a tight rotation. Think Io will go less. So how many minutes did Io play last game? Let's see. Minnesota is a team that does run a tight rotation, but Io still played 25 minutes in his first game with Minnesota, so he was a pretty stable part of the rotation. So, I mean, we can look at where his lines are set at. I do like the matchup against Atlanta. I don't think Io's role is not going to be nearly as good on Minnesota as it was on Chicago. He was just, just a different role. Obviously, when Giddey was out, Trey Jones was out, he was just playing a ton, had the ball in his hands a lot. Now, he's going to be playing minutes alongside Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards, some higher usage guys. So I don't expect Io to be as productive. But it was good to see him play 25 minutes in his first game with Minnesota. If he plays 25 minutes again, I would lean he goes over some of these lines, like PRA, maybe PA at 14.5. He didn't go over it last game, but again, the minutes were solid. But yeah, his lines were lower because, it's just a new role on a new team. That was the worst Super Bowl I've ever witnessed, but I cashed with Cooper Kupp. It just wasn't a good game, man. There was never any point in the game where I was, sitting up in my chair. I mean, it looked like the Patriots were going to start to come back, but, after Drake May had that sack fumble for a touchdown, it was over at that point. Taking Jokic Square and Bobby Portis PRA for a free $300 for my MVP slip. Hey, well, good luck, Sebastian. Good luck with that one. Hopefully it hits for you. In a blowout in the second half, take the under props for the starters, take the bench props over if you can catch it before it locks. Yeah, that's always something you can do for sure. Second half plays, a lot of times though, Prizepicks has really started to become quicker with that. If a game's going to be a blowout or if it's looking like it's a blowout, Prizepicks typically will pull all the props and they won't let you take second half unders. People used to do that a lot back in the early days and people would make a killing. And then Prizepicks caught on and started to really adjust. But yeah, that's always been a thing you could do. Any Nurkic props or others to go to in case he's out like normal? Jaren Jackson too popular. So we'll see on Nurkic. I think Nurkic played last game, so I would assume he's playing today. The Jazz, they're another one of these teams that they're spreading out the minutes. If it's a competitive game in the fourth quarter, they're gonna sit their starters because they don't want to win. I'm pretty sure they did that last game. I think only Ace Bailey, he was the only starter that played in the fourth quarter, and it was a competitive game. So, you might only get 3 quarters from the Jazz starters. Unless it's a blowout. If anything, you probably want a blowout, because when the Jazz know they're going to lose, they'll just play their guys normal minutes. But when it's a close game, they're pulling their starters. They don't want to win. So, it's just a tough situation, man. I try and stay away. Now, obviously, if Nurkic is out, that's going to benefit Kyle Filipowski the most, probably. But, they don't have props up for Filipowski. I mean, Jaren would benefit a little bit, but I don't think he would benefit as much as Filipowski would. What do you ask for when you get a cut? I think I get the same thing every time. I think it's a 4 on the sides and the 8 on top. I just get a buzz cut. That's usually what I get. I go to Sports Clips. I don't have a professional barber or anything that I go to. I literally just go to Sports Clips. get my little, $35, $40 haircut after I leave a tip. Usually I get a haircut like every 3 months. Once it grows out and it gets really long, I just get it all cut off. Like that's just the routine for me. Let's talk about a couple plays I like that we can pair with this Jokic prop. So first one I like is going to be on the Kings, but you have to hear me out here. So we're going to look at a prop on Dylan Cardwell. So I like Dylan Cardwell for more than 17.5 points and rebounds. So let's talk about why I like this for Cardwell. Let's go over to Props Madness. If you guys have not been watching the YouTube videos, or if you weren't in the stream on Friday, we are now partnered up with Props Madness. Props Madness is a research site where you can research any props you want. You can look at hit rates, you can look at matchups, you can look at where the players score their points, how the opposing team defends in that specific area. Everything you could possibly think of is on Props Madness. And if you guys want to try them out, use code NOAH. You'll get 25% off your first subscription. But let's search up Dylan Cardwell. Somebody's calling me. Search up Dylan Cardwell and let's find props on Cardwell. This points plus rebounds. Let's talk about this one. So on the season, he's only hit this line in 4 games, but obviously that doesn't mean anything because today is just a totally different scenario. So we have to look at games without Sabonis because obviously Sabonis is out right now. You look at games without Sabonis, 3 out of 17 games. But early on in the season, he wasn't really playing a lot of minutes. Now that the Kings have kind of entered tank mode and they're trying to lose, they're giving these younger guys more minutes. Dylan Cardwell, pretty sure he's a rookie. He's one of their young guys they're trying to develop. You look at the last 2 games without Sabonis, 25 minutes, 31 minutes. So the minutes have been trending up for him. If we look at games without Sabonis this year, when he played at least 25 minutes, I don't think it's that many games, but let's take a look at it. So you can go on Props Madness, you can click minutes, you can actually sort. Let's look at games where he played, let's just say 22 minutes. With at least 22 minutes, he's averaging about 17.5 PR. With at least 25 minutes, he's averaging almost 19 PR. And look at some of these games where he struggled. Pistons, Raptors, Celtics, like those are literally 3 of the worst possible matchups for centers. Now he faces the Pelicans, which is like one of the best possible matchups. You look at where Dylan Cardwell scores a lot of his points, where he takes a lot of his shots, is coming around the rim, and that's where the Pelicans give up a ton of points. They're 29th in points allowed in the paint, so second most points allowed in the paint this year. The Pelicans have also been terrible on the glass. They've been one of the worst rebounding teams. Cardwell's been a really good rebounder this year, really good offensive rebounder, gets a lot of putbacks. That's what the Pelicans struggle with. They're dead last in putback points allowed. I think it's a great matchup for Cardwell. I think he plays like 24, 25 minutes. Maybe he plays more. He's gonna, even if it's a blowout, he's gonna play. If it's a competitive game, he'll probably still be out there. It seems like right now, he kind of has the upper hand on the center minutes over Reynal. Reynal has been the starter in the games that Sabonis has missed, and I'm expecting Reynal to start tonight. But lately, Cardwell's been coming off the bench and playing more than Reynal has. So I like this prop on Dylan Cardwell. I think it's a great matchup. The minutes are there. The Kings want to play him more minutes. His coach loves him. Like, his coach is always talking about how he loves Dylan Cardwell. He's just one of these like hustle guys. He's always around the basket. He's always getting rebounds. Great matchup. Checks every box. You can also look at like the odds right now. A lot of the sports books are favoring the over. Right now, FanDuel minus 122 on his over. DraftKings minus 126. Sleeper minus 145. So that's a prop I like. Other prop I like is on Scottie Pippen Jr. So let's talk about this prop on Scottie Pippen Jr. Now, this is going to be a fantasy score, and currently on Props Madness, they do not have fantasy score as like a way to research, but I talked to them and supposedly that's something that they're looking to add in the future. So can't really look too much into fantasy score on Props Madness. You could look at like PRA as an alternative, but it's kind of like, it's not the same since, okay, Jalen Johnson did just get ruled out. Dyson Daniels just got ruled out. So actually, here's what we're about to do. We're about to take a CJ McCollum over instead. Love you, Scottie Pippen, but these CJ McCollum overs look better now. Let's take CJ McCollum PRA, pair that with Cardwell and the Jokic discount. I think McCollum really benefits here with no Dyson and no Jalen Johnson. And they're pulling the props immediately. Figured they would. Damn it. Damn it. Did anyone get that? Probably not. That was gone in like 10 seconds. Damn. It's showing on my screen, it's showing the props are still up, but like, yeah, they're gone. If nobody got that, then I'll just go back to what I was saying. But I wanted to put that up in case somebody was able to get it, but I highly doubt they were. Michael said it got pulled. Yeah, okay. Well, let's go back to Props Madness, and let's talk about this prop on Scottie Pippen Jr. So, I like Scottie Pippen Jr. for more than 22.5 fantasy. This line was actually at 23.5 earlier today, and it got bumped down, and I'm not really sure why. So, Scottie Pippen Jr., he's coming back from injury. He's only played one game this year. His first game back from injury, he played 22 minutes. He had 13 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. So 26.6 fantasy score in 22 minutes. If you look at Scottie Pippen Jr. in his career, like his FanDuel points per minute. So we can just look like in his career this year, or like by his season. I'm trying to look at Scottie Pippen Jr. Does not pull up Scottie Pippen Jr. It's pulling up Scottie Pippen. I don't want to look at Scottie Pippen. Let's see. See if we do Memphis. It should pull up then. Damn, do they not have Scottie Pippen Jr. on Scottie? Oh, Scottie. That's the problem. Has he always been S-O-T-T-Y? I thought he was T-T-I-E. Did he change his name? He might change his name. So let's look at Scottie Pippen Jr.'s fantasy points per minute in his career. So rookie year with the Lakers, 0.9 fantasy points per minute. He only played in 6 games, so he didn't really play much. Then he went to Memphis, 1.1 fantasy points per minute with Memphis. The year after that, 1.11. This season, it's only 1 game, so take it with a grain of salt, but 1.21 fantasy points per minute. So I'm expecting Scottie Pippen to play 22 to 24 minutes. I'm expecting him to average over a fantasy point per minute. The matchup against Golden State, I think, is okay. Pippen's always been a productive player when he gets minutes. He started last game. We'll see if he starts tonight. They didn't have Ty Jerome last game, so maybe Pippen, or the game that Pippen played in, I think he sat their last game, but he played on the February 6th game. They didn't have Ty Jerome for that game, so maybe they started Pippen for Jerome, and now Jerome will start for Pippen, but they might just start Jerome and Pippen together as like their 2 backcourt guys. Either way, I think we're getting over 20 minutes from Scottie Pippen. He's been a guy that's averaged over fantasy point per minute in his career. He's typically been really productive when he plays like without John Morant. Obviously, Jaren Jackson Jr. is not on the team anymore. Like, you could probably look at his games without Ja and without Jaren. Let's see if we can do this. FanDuel game log without Ja Morant and without Jaren Jackson Jr. Probably hasn't played like a ton of games, but looks like he played a decent amount. I just want to look at his Grizzlies games. So some of these games, he was playing like 30-something minutes, so take it with a grain of salt. But I mean, 27 minutes, 32 fantasy points. 27 minutes, 34. 29 minutes, 40. Even the games where he played like 22 minutes, 26 fantasy points. 25 minutes, 26 fantasy points. You give me 22, 24 minutes from Scottie Pippen tonight, I think we get about 24, 25 fantasy points. I think 22.5 is a bit of a low line. So I like this as our 3 picks for today, guys. I would play this. Well, actually, I already took the Jokic discount, so I'll just take this out, and I'll play this as these 2. Since I put in the Jokic discount with McCollum and Cardwell, but, McCollum prop got pulled off the board. So we'll just roll with this. Obviously, if you have the Jokic discount, then play that too. If you want to. You don't have to, but it's up to you. But these are 2 plays I like for tonight. Feel free to tail if you would like. I gave out reasoning, explanations, and hopefully they cash, man. Hopefully we make some money tonight. But I'm going to answer some more questions, guys. I don't think I'll be on here too much longer because my fiance just got home and I ain't seen her all day, so I need to go talk to her. But I'll answer about 10 or 15 more questions. We'll be on for about 10 more minutes or so. Again, I don't think we're really going to get any other news tonight. The Hawks news was what we were waiting on. We already got that. Jamal Murray news, if we get that, it probably won't be till after I get off stream. And like Embiid's questionable too. That won't. If we get news on Embiid, if he's out, that won't come till later as well. So, yeah. We did just get the Pistons starting lineup. The Pistons starting lineup is as expected. The Hornets starting lineup is as expected as well. So nothing to note there. No, what about Noah Clowney or Danny Wolf over fantasy? MPJ is out and Yegor is out. So let's take a look at those lines. I know some of the games that MPJ has missed this year, they have started Danny Wolf. I do like the matchup for Danny Wolf. If he is starting, I don't mind his over 28.5 fantasy. I think that's okay. And then Noah Clowney, where's his fantasy line at? I don't think they might not have one on Clowney, on Prizepicks at least, unless I'm missing it. Yeah, it looks like they don't have a fantasy line for Clowney. I mean, I definitely think both these guys benefit without MPJ. Wolf has been like a pretty productive player when he gets minutes. Like if you look at, we could probably go to Props Madness and like look at his games where, you know, he's had like 20 something minutes. Let's see. We can just look at his games without MPJ because that'll probably show us something. So let's see, just games without MPJ this year. I mean, he's averaging almost 20 PR, a little bit over 19 PRA per game. Two games without Yegor and MPJ, 30 PRA in 30 minutes, 18 PRA in 29 minutes. But that game was against the Rockets. Like, that's a terrible matchup. Obviously, this matchup tonight against the Bulls, much, much better. So I don't hate that over on Danny Wolf. I think that's okay. Again, I would think I'd want to see him starting, though. If he's not starting, I'd be a little hesitant. No, a nice cut. Hopefully it brings us a sweep. Hopefully so, man. Hopefully so. Also got Donovan Mitchell, 20.5 discount. Prizepicks knows I'm a fiend. Help me. Hey, I mean, if you're getting the discounts, man, you might as well play him. I typically don't get the discounts, but Prizepicks, they've been giving out a lot of like discounts to everybody lately. Pistons about to chop up that win streak. Will be a competitive game. We'll see, man. The Hornets, what have they won? 9 in a row? They got a tough test tonight for sure. I also thought they had a tough test when they had to play the Rockets in Houston and they still won that game. It's like, man, the Hornets, they can't be stopped, man. Like, I want to see the Hornets play at OKC. Will they win that? I mean, hell, they might. They're a damn juggernaut right now. Streaker had more yards than most of the Patriots receivers. Yeah, I saw that Streaker. Supposedly that guy that did the streaking, he does that a lot. Like, how does he do it a lot, though, is what I want to know. I think he's actually streaked at the Super Bowl before. Like, how is he still able to do it? I looked at, he's like a famous TikToker or something. He's like big into crypto and like investing and all that stuff. I think he had something on his chest talking about like, he had his account, his app, like on his chest or on his back. So I think he's one of those people that like bets on himself to streak. Like he put money on him or for someone to streak during the Super Bowl, which how in the hell does anyone even allow that? Like that's such a rigged market. Like you can put a shit ton of money on someone to streak during the Super Bowl and then you go do it and you make money like that? Like that just doesn't seem right. I don't see how that works or how that's even legal. But I guess it works because people do it. Any unders on fantasy score on the taking teams? I mean, the lines are kind of already accounted for that for the most part. Like, Lauri Markkanen in fantasy, typically when he plays full minutes, his line would be like 37.5, 38.5. Same with Nurkic. Like, his line would be in the mid to high 30s. So they're already kind of accounting for the tank. Like, Isaiah Carter's lines are high, but he'll probably still play even if it's a blowout or if it, it doesn't matter. But Markkanen, Jaren, Nurt, like those are going to be the guys that see their minutes cut in the fourth quarter if it's a close game. I still think Collier would be out there. Ace Bailey would probably be out there. So I don't think there's a ton of value on betting unders on the tanking teams because the lines are kind of already adjusted for that. No, it definitely looks like the kid that was kidnapped in Alpha Dog. I gotta look this up now. I've never seen. Is Alpha Dog a movie? I've never seen that. If it is, yeah, it's a movie. I don't know how I would find the kid you're talking about. I looked it up, but like I don't know. Let's see. Is there a kid? Okay, I can't find nothing on Google Images. You can tell me something to look up to know what you're talking about, but I have no idea what you're talking about. When Noah's phone goes off, everyone's antennas are up. I'd be scared because we don't get reverse sniped by Prizepicks before. That was just my dad was calling me earlier. But yeah, I've got those notifications on for Underdog. You took Caldwell over 10.5 boards. I think that's okay. It's a great rebounding spot for sure. I prefer PR because I think it's a spot where he should have opportunity to get like putbacks. And you know, the Pelicans just give up so many points around the rim. So I prefer PR, but yeah, I don't hate boards either. Would you take Anthony Edwards fantasy under now with potential blowout? Aspie probably was talking about something, but I had Ryan Kalkbrenner over 5.5 points. We can look at Kalkbrenner 5.5 points. Let's take a look at that one. Would I take Ant fantasy under? I mean, I definitely don't feel as good about the play now that the Hawks don't have Jalen and Dyson. The matchup's also really good though now that Jalen and Dyson are out. The spread's 8.5, so it's not like if the spread was like 12.5, then I think I'd be worried about blowout. But it's 8.5, so it's not like it's a crazy spread. The Timberwolves have also not been playing that well lately. Okay, it looks like the spread is 10.5 now. I mean, at 10.5, that does start to get to that, like, once you get to double digits, that's when I do get a little bit worried about blowout. That's up to you, man. If you want to take the under on his line now, I mean, I guess you could. I don't think I'd do it, though. But Kalkbrenner, 5.5 points. I mean, for Kalk, it's really, like, just minutes. He's, you know, Diabate has kind of taken over as the starting center, so if Diabate plays like 30 minutes, that means Kalkbrenner's probably only getting like 15, 16 minutes. I mean, we could look at games where he plays between like 15 and 18 minutes. Let's look at that over on Props Madness. Let's see. I will say it's not a very good matchup. The Pistons are really good protecting the rim, defending in the paint, and that's where Kalkbrenner does a lot of his scoring. But let's see, this year, let's look at games where he plays like between 15 to 18 minutes, because I think that's what he projects for tonight. Or let's just say 14. So with 14 to 18 minutes, let's see. He is over this line in 7 out of 8 games. I still don't feel great about it. I mean, you can look at the sportsbook odds. Like most sportsbooks have him at 5.5, pretty much even money. MGM slightly favoring the over. FanDuel slightly favoring the under. I don't love it. I think it's okay though. I think 5.5 is a better. If it was 6.5, I would not like it at all. Because like Kalkbrenner, all of his points are going to be twos. Like he doesn't shoot threes. He very rarely goes to the free throw line. So it's the most likely scenario is he either has like 6 points, 8 points, 4 points, 2 points. It's pretty. I would say it's very unlikely he finishes with like 5. So I think 5.5 is definitely better than like if it was 6.5, I would for sure like the under. At 5.5, I guess I'll lean the over because I could see a scenario where he finishes like with exactly 6 points. But don't love it. Don't love it. Also, don't like the matchup at all. I mean, the Pistons are one of the best teams defending, you know, where Kalkbrenner, like you can see Kalkbrenner, 88% of his shots come in the paint. And the Pistons second best defending the paint. So that's my thoughts there on that prop. How do you feel about Bam Adebayo PRA tonight? I think it's a great matchup for Bam. I mean, the Jazz are like one of the worst defensive teams in the league. There's no Norman Powell. There's no Tyler Hero. Who else is out? There's somebody else out for Miami, I think. Pele Larson's out. So Miami's definitely a little bit more shorthanded than normal for this game. So yeah, like I think it's a decent spot for Bam. I feel like 34.5 is probably a good line on him. His line is probably inflated. Like he hasn't been going over the line lately, but the line's inflated because so many guys are out. Also because the matchup's really good. Like we could look this year. Let's take a look at Props Madness. Let's look at Bam props. Let's see. So if we can look at his PRA, if it'll load. Let's go to. So let's just first look at the sportsbook odds. It looks like most sportsbooks have him at 34.5. Pinnacle actually 35.5, but juiced to the under. He's pretty much 34.5 everywhere. So, has he played games with no Hero, no Powell, no Larson? So he hasn't played games with all those guys out. He's played 6 games with no Hero, no Powell. He's averaging 34 PRA. He's been like right around that line, that 34.5 line. If there was ever a spot for him to have a good game and to go over, this would be the spot for it. So, like, I don't hate that on Bam. Don't love it, but I don't hate it either. If you forced me to pick a side, I think I'd lean the over. Because the matchup's really, really good. I mean, the Jazz, like, they just give up everything. Like, they're the worst defense in the league, so. And that's probably why the line is so inflated. How do you feel about Clifford lines? Yeah, so Clifford, he's one of the Kings guys that has pretty safe minutes right now. Like last game, he played like 40 minutes. Typically, when Zach LaVine's out, he starts for Zach LaVine. But we've seen, there's been games this year when Zach LaVine's been out. Like Clifford has started but not really done much. But it's just a totally different scenario now that they're playing. DeRozan's playing fewer minutes. Sabonis is out too. Westbrook's playing fewer minutes. I don't know if we get 40 minutes again from Clifford, but I think he plays mid to high 30s. I think he's one of the young guys they want to develop the rest of the season. So the minutes are going to be there. Will the production be there? I don't know. I don't expect him to put up a 50 burger again. But, I mean, you're probably going to get like 35 minutes in a good matchup. So I think most of his lines are set correctly. He's typically not a player you see with lines this high. But obviously the role right now is just really, really good. I don't hate his fantasy at 26.5. He's shown some steals and blocks upside this year. He had 4 steals and blocks last game, 3 the game before that. Don't hate that one. But alright guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Good luck to everyone tonight. Hope you guys all win some money. Hopefully our plays cash tonight. We can all cash out, make some money tonight. I'll see you guys most likely again tomorrow. I should have a stream tomorrow. Not 100% sure. I think I'm going golfing tomorrow. But I should be back in time to do a stream, I think. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Good luck as always. And peace out, everybody.